All right. Today is going to be an opportunity for me to share a little bit what I would call something that's just going on inside of my head. And I really felt the need to get it out. My name is Julie Gorman. I am a wife to one, a mom to two, three if you count the dog. And I am the owner of what I like to call the Me Project. I am also a wellness coach, a culinary nutrition expert, and I'm just like really super just really passionate about food, health, and wellness. And kind of my little rant today is actually the story before all that. I didn't realize that this was something I was passionate about because what I want to share with you today is it was interesting that I talked to a few different people, and what uh, what they've shared with me is interesting because it's their story. And these are people that I admire. These are people that I really feel like they have a grasp on health and wellness. They totally understand, but they don't understand my story because they've never struggled with like obesity. Like I right now am in the midst of my journey, and I have lost probably close to 40 pounds, and I still have another 40 to go. But some of these people are slim and trim, and they've never been more than maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds overweight. They don't understand what it's like to get into an airplane seat and have to ask for a seatbelt extender because you cannot get the seatbelt to connect. Or forget about, maybe you can get it to connect, but you can't bend over because it cuts off all circulation to various parts of your body. So I just feel like for those of us, for the woman like me, that I like to call, we've been rode hard and put away wet, our bodies have sustained a lot of, I'm going to call it damage, because it may or may not be reversible. I don't know. Stay tuned. And I say this rode hard, put away wet because I really didn't like proverbially wake up until 2015, which I was about 40 years old at the time. Up until that point, exercise was not my go-to. When it came to food, I sadly frequented places like Subway, McDonald's. I made lots of choices that revolved around carbs. I love pasta. I love mac and cheese. I love all those things. And even 20 years ago, before some of the food kind of took a turn for the worse, that's a rant for another day about how things have changed. But it still wasn't good food. It wasn't fueling my body. So I want you to drop in the comments, drop me a one if you're like, this girl gets me. Like, again, no disrespect to my friends that have been fit most of their lives, have been working out on a daily basis, have always kind of watched what they ate. There are girls like us fluffy girls, that we are struggling a little bit because we kind of did some things that probably weren't so super smart. And then for me, when you turn that clock and you turn the age of 40, holy crap, does things change. Now, I am currently 50 years old, uploading version 5.1. And I say that because I actually feel better now than I did 10 years ago. I feel better now than I did when I was 35. And not because I was running around after two kids, because I physically, mentally, emotionally was exhausted because I was not taking care of myself. So I was stuck. I hit the 40s, I was stuck, and I tried all the things. Trust me. I have t-shirts to prove all of this. Okay. Eat less. That seems normal, right? So you try the old Weight Watchers, you try the diet. Eat less, calories in, calories out. You'll lose weight, you'll trim up, you'll get healthy. No, didn't seem to work. In fact, I feel like I gained weight, or I went stagnant. You could eat all the salads you like. Well, then you realize, oh, no, I got like more calories out, right? So I got to start exercising more. So you start walking more, and you start, going to the gym, and you're doing burpees, which I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to, by the way. You do all the strength training. Still not shifting. Maybe lose 5 pounds and then it stops. And you're like, what the actual heck? What the heck's going on? So then, or I find out, I have got some gluten intolerances causing some thyroid issues and like this brain fog, this fatigue. My thyroid, it's giving me trouble. Gluten-free. That's the key. So I did that for 4 months. Did it help? Yeah, I lost a little bit of weight, balanced out my thyroid numbers. but still didn't seem to flip the switch. I still would get stuck. I'd hit this plateau and nothing changes. What am I doing wrong? This is where you get frustrated and you're just like, what? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Everybody else seems to be figuring their shit out and I can't figure it out. What is wrong with me? Well, then you hear, well, you got to eat more protein. That's what we need to do. Got to eat more protein. Okay, so start eating more protein, up my protein game. At least I thought I did, because what I know now versus what I knew then, I was not eating enough protein. The point being is, though, it constipated me. I got a little stuck, and that equals weight gain. So then you get frustrated. And when I get frustrated, I'm sorry, I eat and I don't feel like moving. So give me a comment below if you're like, okay, this girl might have been reading a page out of my book. How did she know that this is what we're going through? Because I know I'm not the only one. This is what I've learned over my years. So here's what I've learned. This is a journey, my friends. And this is why I am working on what I like to call the Me Project. So the Me Project is, I'm just trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do. And I'm hopeful that anything I share with people like you, that you might go, oh, that's helpful, because I pay attention to other people. I don't learn things because it magically appears in my brain. I'm always seeking what's best, what's a better way of being proactive versus reactive. How can I reset my health and wellness? What can I do to be a better version of myself? So what I have learned is really to be proactive versus reactive, to really reset your metabolic health. And what I mean by that is that I'm focusing on, there's a piece in culinary nutrition. We focus on 4 pillars, and the 4 pillars is using food. Like this is using food, whole foods, like really natural ingredients that will help you balance your blood sugar, decrease inflammation, heal your gut, boost your immunity. Those are the 4 things you want to if you just focus on those 4 things, you can do some monumental things. Balancing your blood sugar, I want you to put that one in the vault. Metabolic health markers to help you monitor whether or not you're doing some of those things. You want to be looking at your blood pressure. You want to be looking at your cholesterol levels, your blood sugar, your numbers, and your waist circumference. So right now, all those things are normal for me, except the waist circumference. It's over 35 inches for women, a little bit of an alarm going off. Not huge alarm, but I have an alarm going off. And you might have an alarm going off with your blood pressure or your blood sugar or your cholesterol levels, whichever it is. The metabolic health markers help you understand kind of, that maybe things aren't working so well. And when your metabolic health isn't working well, that is when you start to get these symptoms. So instead of treating the symptoms, I want you to think being proactive versus reactive. So instead of treating the symptoms, which is reactive, let's be proactive and let's fix our plates. And sometimes that means introducing good supplementation, whether it be a collagen, whether it be something that balances your blood sugar naturally, whether it's even just potent foods that are found in, micro doses, in capsules, peptides, whatever it is. There's lots of options out there. But sometimes those of us that have been stuck need supplementation, and you might need something to give you that boost, to help you balance your blood sugar, to help you get your gut healed, to perhaps boost your immunity, whatever you might need. Because what I realized for myself is I was stuck because of insulin resistance. And when you look up insulin resistance, you'll see my face. No, you won't. You won't see my face, but probably you are going to read about it, because if you're like me and you're just sort of sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, it wasn't that I was sick. It wasn't that I had this huge diagnosis. It was simply that I was just tired. I couldn't think straight. I didn't want to do anything. I was napping in the afternoon. I was, I was waking up exhausted. I woke up in the morning and I thought about when I might be able to have a nap. That's not living life. That's not being the best version of yourself. So, but what I will tell you though, as I wrap this up, I will tell you that mindset was the biggest thing, because what I was focused so much on was losing weight. If I lost weight, I'd be happy. If I was a little skinnier, I'd be happy. If I could just fit into those size 8, 10 jeans, I'd be happy. I have decided that I want to be healthy. I want to be vibrant. I want to be full of energy. I want to be somebody that just really thinks better, feels better, and is a better version of myself. So, one of the key things that I took away from my culinary nutrition program was for each and every person that there is on this planet, that's a different diet, a different journey, a different protocol. And so this is what makes it a little bit challenging, but it's a fun challenge. Don't let it overwhelm you, because sharing my story and you sharing your story, we're going to help each other figure out what we need to do. We're not going to hop on trends. We're not going to do the next best thing. What we're going to do is we're going to do what's best for us. And if you stick to those four pillars and you stick to balancing your metabolic health and really looking at being proactive versus reactive, you and I, friends, we are going to do amazing things. So I want to just take this opportunity to say thank you for watching. Comment below if you're a little interested, you're a little intrigued. Maybe you could share with me a hot tip on something that's helped you along the way. And in the end, if you want to grow and join our community, check out the link below, because my friends, we're going to do amazing things together.